I seen a girl's video on TikTok asking why don't men approach anymore? Why when they go outside there's always women everywhere? Where are other men at? I'm gonna say this as a joke, but there's always a level of seriousness. There has been way too many women making videos saying men to never approach them anywhere. And so a lot of men just said, okay, it's all psychological and people don't understand that. Okay, let's say.
That's the thing. Women say that, and you know, a lot of us men, we do see that. We see men, the way they get rejected, and none of us want to get embarrassed in public. But also too, you shouldn't be talking to the women that you go to the gym with. You know what I'm saying? Because you already know how that is. You ain't finna pull. You may get lucky, but you not really finna pull chicks out the gym. That's not finna happen. That's the daytime club. But the thing is, what dudes don't understand is women respect the dude who can come up to them confidently, because we all know women love and value confidence, and they respect the dude who can come up to them and have a conversation. See, a lot of dudes, I think when we go up to them and we're trying to spit game, or we're hitting her with, oh, baby girl, you look so good, you're so beautiful. So you're leading with this validation. Now she's putting you in the category with all the other guys. But if you go up to her and just introduce yourself, hey, how you doing? My name is Josh. I just wanted to come introduce myself. How you feeling today? Okay, cool. You from this side of town? Okay, that's what's up. You was born here? Okay, cool. Well, maybe if you free sometime, you know what I'm saying, we can go get a smoothie together, some frozen yogurt. Just let me know. And you go from there. But I think a lot of times the internet does make guys stiff up and don't want to deal with women in person. But guess what? If you a guy and you can actually have a conversation with the woman, oh yeah, she's going to look at you with high regard, because most men can't do it. So in a world where men are not approaching women, if you understand how to do it, you're going to win.
You see a pretty girl at the bar, you're about to go approach her, but then you remember the video you seen of a girl with 1 million views saying, men, don't approach me anywhere. I'm not out to talk to men. Then you see thousands of women in the comments doubling down like, yes, don't approach. We're just outside to have fun.
You can't let what people say on social media deter you. Because the same women online that'll say, I want to do 6'5" and all of this, her boyfriend is 5'9". You know what I'm saying? So women, these are just things they say online, because I'll admit, right, in person, women, a lot of guys try to talk to women on a daily basis in person. So for the most part, most men that women encounter are either too thirsty, too nervous, don't know how to talk. So that's what they're referring to. They're not referring to the guys that know how to come up and properly have a conversation. And I get it. We in the microwave society where everything is Instagram, online, dating apps. I get that. But man, talking to women in person and knowing how to do that, man, that shit'll never get old. And it is tough to do it, because I remember in college, the first time I built up the courage after 2 months to talk to this girl in my class, all for her to curve me. You know what I'm saying? So women already know if you want to talk to them, so you might as well just go up and have a conversation, man. Because the worst she can say is no. We be acting like they gonna slit our throats or something like that.
Approaching a stranger to initiate a conversation and not come off maybe in a weird way if you're kind of nervous, shy, or whatnot, is very hard. It's one of the hardest things to do, right? So if you're consuming content and seeing lots of women say that they don't want to be approached, well, then you're gonna have a lot of men defeated, have a lot of men inside, and they might be outside.
Man, for those of y'all that are readers, man, y'all need to read this book called do I have it over there? Oh yeah, hold on. This book right here, How to Win Friends and Influence People. What you got to understand, man, it starts with having just everyday conversations with people. I think a lot of times when we go out in public, we're not talking to the person at the gas station, the cash register at the store, just random people. When you can get used to having conversations with random people, when you see a woman that you want, it ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nothing. And I think a lot of times we forget these women bleed just like us. Because if you come up to a woman with a confident conversation, the worst she's gonna say is no, or I have a boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? She not finna be people. Women are only rude and disrespectful when you come up to them thirsty. You know what I'm saying? Even though she got her ass out and all this kind of, but we shouldn't be going up to no chicks that got her ass out anyway. But the whole point is, man, when you go into a conversation with a woman, ask her questions. And depending and pay attention, because depending on what she says to the question, that's going to give you the next thing to say. All you really need is an opener. That's it. To introduce yourself. And then ask her, like, do you stay on this side of town or do you grow up here? Okay, where are you from? And then you go from there. Or if you're in a store, depending on what section you are in the store, kind of talk about something around or what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And then you go from there. Have a regular conversation.
But they're not going to say anything to you. Now, these are all just talking points. It's not like every woman creates videos like that. But there's plenty of them that do. So it's just like, you have very nice guys that are like, you know what? I'm gonna just leave her alone. I'm gonna rock out. Right? Then you are starting to have men just not even care to go outside anymore.
Yeah, that's the thing. As a man, you should never get to a point where you don't want to deal with women at all, because it's all a numbers game, right? It's all a numbers game, because to be honest, it was probably you that messed it up. You probably had no conversational skills. Your confidence was low or whatever it may have been. But I think the main thing is you got to keep going after what you want. And I don't mean chasing women, but elevating yourself and getting better with them and attracting them to you. I think a lot of time, man, we let one little rejection or we let what we see on social media deter us. Because a lot of dudes, if you never dealt with a woman in 2025, I'm sure that the fear is real. I'm sure. Because you probably get on TikTok, you get on Instagram, and you see how these women be curving dudes. So you think, damn, that bad chick right there, she probably gonna curve my ass or embarrass me. You know what I'm saying? So you're letting yourself talk you out of getting what you want. So a lot of men suppress it by saying, oh, I'm just gonna go my own way. Not for me. I like women way too much to be going my own way.
Yeah, right. I just need people to stop creating content. It's damn near like fear mongering, to be honest. It makes it seem like all men are evil and these, like, they can't talk to people. And then you have a lot of men that say, you know what? I'm going to respect your boundary. I do think that we're in a weird time in the world where a lot of people are not.
Hey, when you respect the woman's boundary, she looks at you as soft. Like, she looks at you, like, I learned early on, when you don't go for what you want, a woman, that's the second she friend zones you. So I know for me, a lot of times, I didn't like to try a woman sexually. Like, I remember I would be kicking it with women when I was in college, and a lot of times it would just be me and her in her bedroom, and I didn't go for what I wanted or go for a kiss, even though I'm in a position to go all the way, because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna respect you. I don't want to be like all the other guys. And therefore she labeled me with the other guys who are too weak to go for what they want. So when you don't go for what you want with a woman and she picks up that sense, she already dubbed your ass. You know what I'm saying? Friend zone. Because now she's thinking, oh, he's a nice guy, but he's afraid to go for what he wants. And if you're afraid to go what you want for a woman, how can you protect her? Because you're afraid of her. A lot of us, we're afraid of women. But you're not really afraid of them. You're afraid of the outcome. You're afraid of not getting what you want. But you can't look at it that way. Because the way you should be looking at it is, if she not trying to rock with me, she not for me. Remember, people's rejection is God's protection.
Not social anymore, right? But it also doesn't help to throw pieces of content out that they all go viral. All of these videos always go viral, of women saying, men don't approach me ever, anywhere, in any setting. That isn't going to help anyone.
Yeah, and when a woman is saying men don't approach me in any setting, again, like I said earlier, all that means is the men that they want don't approach them. You know what I'm saying? Most men that probably approach women on a daily basis, they come off thirsty, they come off desperate, they come off not sure of themselves, and women don't want those men to approach them. But a woman will forever respect the dude who comes up to them confidently. Instead of spitting game, you having a conversation. You know what I'm saying? You making her feel safe. Oh yeah, she gonna rock with you. She may even see you that freaking night. And talking to a woman, I'm not gonna say it's one of the most hardest things, but it's not easy. It's just something you have to work on. And what I would say is, it starts off by talking to people in your everyday life. When I go to the gym, I make sure I talk to the people up at the front. Hey, how y'all doing today? When you go into the store, make sure I may talk to random people. If I'm going down the aisle and it's just me and the other person, hey, how you doing today? Little stuff like that. If I go for a walk in the park, somebody that walks past me, hey, how's it going today? Little things like that, because now it gets you comfortable with talking to strangers. Because if you don't talk to people when you go out in public, well, when you see that girl that you really want, you know what I'm saying, you ain't gonna be ready for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's all a mindset. I think a lot of us, we get a couple rejections, or we see people on the internet getting rejected, and we start to say, you know what? I'm not going to go for what I want. It's too tough. I'm not going to win. And by having that mindset, you already lost. So yeah, don't put too much pressure on it, but you definitely want to practice. And like I said, this start in your everyday life talking to regular people, but don't let the internet fool you. Don't let what these women say online fool you. They definitely want a man to approach them who's confident. They respect that. You know what I'm saying? Because what do you think is more respectable? Getting a woman's number online on an Instagram or a dating app, or getting her number in person where you had a real... Now, I'm not just saying you just went up to her and say, hey, baby, damn, you fine. Like, I'm not talking about that. I mean, you went up to her, had about a 3, 4, 5 minute conversation. You invited her to do something, and you got her number. Which one do you think she respects more? She's going to remember that, because guess what? It's not too many times a man can come up to her in person and have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? So I would say don't listen to what women say online. Don't listen to that. Do it yourself and see the results that you get in person, and go from there. But of course, you're going to get no's. You're going to get rejections for whatever reason. Every woman is different or whatever, because a lot of this stuff is timing. But at the end of the day, if you don't try it, you'll never know. It's like I say on every video, man, this is why we must continue to put ourselves first. All right, guys, that's my video for today, man. I appreciate you guys for coming over to the channel as always. And until the next time, deuces.